Ed Zanetti, hi. Please be very aware of what I'm about to say. This is about Paris Agreement against climate disease. So, tropical immunization for a safer planet. I'd like to start by telling you a little tale about the Amazon. And I would like to think you all to think about the Amazon as a translation for mischief, cheating, a con tale. That's what the Amazon is about. You know, at the time, the name was attached to the river and afterwards to the region. The mythology, Greek mythology, was used to alarm Europeans and get money to invest on chasing the Amazon warriors to make the region a safer place for Europeans. What actually happened is that this area became the English, French, and Holland Guianas in the north of Brazil. So you see the tail, the con scenario, and what were people really looking into today. Deforestation is used to alarm the planet and invest on taking people out of the region, especially Brazilians. Actually, trying to turn it into supposedly a neutral zone, neutral territory, which would be available to all nations. Huh? It's beautiful. It would suck up all the greenhouse gases and all the disease in the planet and make them disappear. It actually became the largest reservoir of tropical disease in the planet. So you see the con and the results. Be very aware. There are 200 different tropical disease breeding right now in the Amazon forest and other tropical regions in the planet. COVID-19 was just one of them. It was bred into this interaction between the wilderness and the domesticated populations and the humans. This connection, you have disease. The more people you have, more disease you have, and then more disease will be being exchanged between wildlife and tropic and domesticated populations, and this makes them more dangerous, more lethal. So what we need is obvious. We need to immunize also the tropical and the wilderness populations. That's the main point here. We need money from the Paris Agreement. For Brazilian Amazon, we need 20 billion US dollars annually to pay for 400,000 people to get into the forest and monitor the disease, not fight, not prevent. This will cost 10 times more. Monitor is really important. We have to know where the diseases are before they reach us and kill millions. Stupidity, red blues, stupidity is killing millions right now. We have to stop stupidity from acting. Okay? England has proposed a global agreement to address epidemics and pandemics, which Brazil can, by its turn, propose to be, accommodated within the Paris Agreement, specifically to address the cost of monitoring and afterwards preventing and fighting the spread of tropical disease caused by global climate change and by the increase in the population of humans. By this way, we would avoid wasting a lot of time forming a new global agreement. And in addition, we could have immediately, billions of US dollars in resources that could be directed to fight global climate change attached spread of tropical disease for the effective monitoring of the more than 300 pathogens existing in the Brazilian Amazon with high risk of spreading. The estimated cost is 20 billion annually. 500, a team of 5 with 2 graduated and 3 undergraduated personnel. It can cover 5,000 hectares per year, doing 500, analysis on those wildlife, and have some results in terms of risk of disease spreading. We need 400,000 people, 8,000 teams over the Brazilian Amazon regions to assure that this is not spreading, over that we can control it. We need the Ministry of Health directly involved with that. The sanitation in Brazil needs to be involved. The Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Science and Technology. We need a concerted action to fight those tropical disease. You have this cone scenario that was created, by the architects of National Greenhouse Gas Inventory in Brazil, that put this deforestation as the main, the center of the universe of the Amazon, and portrayed to you an image where this Amazon region is this huge dump where you can dump all the greenhouse gases you have in the planet. You can dump all the disease, and we will take care of that. They created this scenario. This is a con scenario to elude you. The result, what they were doing, they were, of course, filling their pockets with money, and the result we have now is that the tropical regions in the planet became the most dangerous ones into this planet for the spreading of disease. In the Americas, the 53 countries, there is no region that is so highly, dangerous in terms of spreading disease as the Brazilian Amazon. It's because of those huge environmental reserves where you don't have any people, where you don't have land management by people. It's what, makes the disease goes away. We use, products. We use technology to avoid those diseases to stay in the field. And when you don't have people, then you have the perfect environment for the disease. If you add an excess of CO2 that is changing the balance of the vegetation, the competition of the vegetation in Brazil Amazon has changed because of the CO2. So annual and biannual plants are winning this competition. Trees are losing. So in this environment, you have the heat and you have the humidity. And you have 15 million different species of insects. This is perfect for disease. This is disease paradise, and they are spreading right now 200 different tropical disease with potential of global contamination are breeding in the Amazon region. We need to monitor this. We need to avoid this to spread over the planet. Okay, so it is urgent that we have investment from that, and this can come from the Paris Agreement. We can stay ahead of the problems by investing in preventive, proactive measures that lead to developing a vision of the entire ecosystem. The 3 specific measures are needed at local level, at municipal level: diagnosis of tropical infectious disease, the area where they are, how abundant they are, what are their scope, the vectors, the risks and threats. This is the first step. Then we need health and sanitation criteria and indications for wild areas. What is the level that we can support? Where it becomes dangerous? Where is the level it becomes dangerous? And then we need regulation of mandatory minimum interventions to ensure preventive measures for the spread of tropical disease. With those 3 actions locally, you identify where the disease is, you identify the level of contamination, and then you take the measures to prevent this from spreading. I think this is the minimum we need to do. As a result, cities will gain autonomy from the point of view of human health to intervene directly in all areas of native vegetation in the municipalities, regardless of their conditions, being federal, state, or municipal environmental reserves, due to the risk they present or may present for people's health. They also allow mayors to allocate resources from other areas for the management of those green areas, aiming at reducing the presence and spread of tropical pathogens with risks of causing epidemics. This can be a national plan, an action plan for prevention and combat of spreading of infecto-contagious disease in the Amazon. And of course, the Amazon is a special interest because of the climate conditions, but it goes for all other Brazilian biomes. We need this in the Atlantic forest, in the Pantanal. We need this over there in Cerrados, in the Caatingas, in the natural pastures in Brazil. All our biomes need to have the same approach and need to have the same investment. It is necessary to immediately determine the level of risk of tropical epidemics, especially in green areas, at rural properties, and those close to cities and human communities, considering there is the transit in between populations of humans, plants, birds, and domestic and wild animals that occurs the spread of infectious disease. It is necessary to immunize wildly domesticated and wild populations. Since tropical disease, they do not see the boundaries established by social policies or conveniences. They kill both wild and domesticated animals, regardless of their race, color, or creed. Okay? The disease, they spread through the air, just like greenhouse gases. The mayors of the Brazilian Amazon need at least 20 million US dollars each average. You know, we have 1,000 municipalities and localities over there per year to strengthen the system of the prevention of tropical disease that cover about 200 tropical pathogens. And at least 20% of those have high risk of contagion and lethality. The Paris Agreement can allocate these resources throughout the Brazilian goal, a national determined contribution aimed at combating the spread of disease caused by global climate change and increase in the world population, which increase the burden of pathogens on the planet and the conditions of the occurrence of epidemics and pandemics. So this national plan, we are calling here PPCGM, needs 200 billion per year from the Paris Agreement to improve the quality of life on the planet, reducing the risk of the occurrence and spreading of dangerous tropical disease. Okay, I can imagine that for the other regions in the in the tropics, similar amounts of money would be needed to invest on monitoring, preventing, and fighting those disease. I mean, the monitoring, prevention. This is about monitoring, 20 billion per year. Prevention and fighting costs needs to be assessed on a local basis. But at least in average, it will cost 10 times more than the monitoring. So people, be very aware of what's happening in the tropics. Land use management by humans is the best way of getting rid of disease. This scenario of the Amazon being the world dumped is a calm scenario. Okay, we need to act. We need to act, and we can act now to prevent those diseases from spread.